We are at a very important juncture in our times where we are at the cusp of two big mega trends, AI and hybrid. The future of work is going to be very, very different.
Yeah.
And that is what we are excited about at HP because we are in the position to define what the future of work should look like. What is an AI PC? AI PC is a PC which has got a CPU, a GPU, and an NPU. Now, when you're able to use the power of NPU, you can be non-stop on an AI PC for 24 hours without worrying that you need to charge.
What is AI on edge?
AI at the edge is bringing the AI algorithms to the edge, to the device which is closest to you. Just imagine a scenario where you don't have to go to the cloud, you're just running the algorithms on the device itself.
Hello, everyone. I'm really delighted to welcome Samir Shah from HP today in the studio to have a chat on AI and evolution of AI and how HP views that. Samir has been with HP for more than 31 years and currently runs and leads Greater Asia for personal systems. A warm welcome to you, Samir, and thank you for being here.
Thank you, Komal, for having me on this podcast. Really excited. Everybody's talking about AI, so I'm sure we'll have an interesting conversation. Really looking forward to it.
Absolutely. I would start by saying that HP has been at the center of some of the biggest technological shifts, over the last few decades. And, starting on from personal computing to printing and now AI on the edge, Asia has been one of the most dynamic and fastest growing markets for HP. And hence, I think that explains how you've been leading various segments, across India and Singapore, for HP. So I'd love to explore yours and HP's perspective on the future of AI and, the company's momentum in Asia. And of course, how initiatives like your Garage 2.0 are, really evolving and shaping the ecosystem today. And of course, I would also like to draw out on, some leadership insights from you and, talk a little bit about your journey in HP so far and, within this entire technology sector.
Wonderful. Looks like we have a full spectrum of topics to talk about today.
Absolutely. And I would want to ground a conversation at the big picture, how HP sees the world of AI evolving. And, within that, I guess some questions like, how does HP define AI on the edge? I think which is most important, how AI on the edge is different from AI on the cloud. And I think even for novices like me who come from the financial sector, it'll be, great learning. We can definitely prop up HP stock then. And of course, if you could share any one or two internal use cases, where HP is already leveraging, on these capabilities.
Okay, let me start off by giving you, as you said, a big picture. Today we are at a very interesting juncture in the industry. I mean, if you look at the last 100 years and look at all the innovations which have happened, they've been extremely transformative. Now, we are at a very important juncture in our times where we are at the cusp of two big mega trends, AI and hybrid. Now, hybrid is not new. Ever since we got into COVID, and hybrid has become the new norm for all of us. In fact, even before COVID came about, people were talking about blurring lines between office and personal.
Absolutely.
People wanted to work the way they live. They wanted to live the way they work. And we were talking about as a new trend in any case. I think what COVID did was it accelerated that change. And now we are at this intersection with AI. Now, that intersection is going to be extremely transformative for the very reason, it brings about a very profound human truth. That when you love what you do, your work doesn't feel like work.
Absolutely.
So with AI and with hybrid, the future of work is going to be very, very different.
Yeah.
And that is what we are excited about at HP because we do think we are in the position to define what the future of work should look like. And the future of work is not about just the use of technology. It's about using technology to harness the true potential of what technology brings. But at the same time, give you the sense of job fulfillment. Mm-hmm. Gone are the days when we used to talk about job satisfaction. We're talking about the world where it's about job fulfillment, where it directly relates to the impact that you bring about to the work that you do.
Right.
So the job fulfillment has become a very important thing. And when you talk to employees, when you survey them, not many employees are today linked to the work which they do.
Absolutely.
But with the use of technology, we do think that that's a very powerful way of giving the tools, giving everything which an employee needs, such that we are able to bring out the best in them.
Right.
So now we are at the stage where we think the future of work is going to really transform, because work is not going to be limited to what you do in the office.
Right.
It's going to be also what you bring to work, or bring to work back at home.
Right.
So to us, like, this is now, we are at a very, very important and interesting, exciting times in the industry.
That's great. Yeah. So in this context, what is AI on Edge for just, our novice audience?
AI at the edge is nothing but simply bringing the AI algorithms to the edge, to the device which is closest to you.
Okay.
So whether it's a PC, whether it's a smartphone or a smart camera. So today, a lot of applications and agents run on the cloud.
Right.
Right. Just imagine you are able to run those algorithms and logics on the device itself.
Right.
So that's essentially AI at the edge.
Okay.
So today, when you look at AI models, when you look at model like Copilot,
right.
When you talk about other Gemini,
right.
all those large language models, they're working on the cloud.
Right.
So anything which you need, you're actually sending your information to the cloud.
Right.
And trying to then fetch the information. Just imagine a scenario where you're able to run some of these large language models, or you're able to run some of the agents at the edge, meaning you don't have to go to the cloud. You're just running the algorithms on the device itself. Now, this got tremendous advantages over running over the cloud. But that's essentially is what AI at the edge is. Running the, very simplistically put, running the AI algorithms at the device closest to the person. So that's what AI at the edge is all about.
Sure. No, that's great. Thank you so much. Quite insightful. Again, Asia, as I said, has been quite the powerful growth engine for HP. And I'd love to, go have a deeper dive into that momentum. So what is that main secret sauce behind Asia being one of the most important growth markets for HP? And which particular market in Asia do you think is most strategic for you at this time? And what would you look at as key trends that are picking up for HP again in this region?
Very interesting. Asia, I'm sure everybody is looking at this with the same lens, is one of the fastest growing regions for us. And when you look at, it's not surprising, it's not counterintuitive. For the simple reason, when you look at Greater Asia, is the third largest population bloc after India and China, is the third largest cumulative GDP bloc after US and China.
Right.
Is the third largest base of small and medium businesses.
Absolutely.
If you look at all the foreign direct investments which are flowing in, 1/5 of that flows into this part of the world.
Right.
On top of that, a lot of these countries are leapfrogging in digital transformation. So if you look at, there was a survey which was done by IDC some time back, where they polled the CIOs and CEOs in US and Western world and asked them to stack rank the top 3 priorities for them. And number 1 was clearly security.
Right.
Number 2 was sustainability. And third was AI/technology.
Sure.
Flip to this part of the world. The number 1 was AI and technology, followed by security and then sustainability. If you look at the digital stack which some of the economies have here, they're far more advanced than what you see in the Western world. So the use of technology to bring out the best in people, to harness the true potential the technology brings, is at the front and center of government's agenda. It's in the front and center of the agenda here for companies as well.
Right.
So we feel super excited about the sheer potential Greater Asia has. And also because it's not about now and here. It's also about looking into the future. When you fast forward and look at next 5 years, next 10 years.
Right.
And look at how the epicenter of growth shifting from west to east. These are the markets where you'll see a huge amount of growth, the potential that we see in this part of the world. Now, to your question, what's the secret sauce? The starting point is customer.
Right.
While we keep customers at the front and center of our core strategy, we are also mindful of what's happening externally around us.
Right.
So some of the things which I mentioned about the trends that we see, the mega trends, especially around the intersection of AI and hybrid, I think what we're doing is our strategy around future of work
right.
is really coming at the front and center of our game plan.
Right.
Our playbook is all about how do we ensure that we are equipping our customers with the best technology, giving them all the tools which they need for their employees, such that they're able to bring about that job fulfillment which their employees are seeking from them. So that's number one, a very profound, very robust playbook around a strategy of future of work. The second is around a portfolio, a one HP portfolio. So while I manage the PC business, we also have Poly business, which is also an integral part of our offering. And then we have print.
Right.
So together, like we bring the power of entire portfolio to our customers. And what we are also doing is we are also trying to ensure that, we are bringing in the power of AI and ensuring there's a seamless integration between the different technologies that we have.
Right.
What AI PC does is with the algorithm that we have around AI, you don't have to worry about what a background is. It will automatically change the background based on lighting, based on the setup that you have. And more often what happens is you have a habit of making gestures, moving up and down.
Right.
Even if you move up and down, the AI will try and bring you in the center of the frame.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that'll really help me.
Yeah. But more importantly, what it does, it uses the power of an NPU. What is an AI PC? AI PC is nothing but a PC which has got a CPU, a GPU, and an NPU, all integrated into one unit. Now, when you're able to use the power of NPU, what it does is it reduces the load on CPU, which thereby gives you a better battery life. So you can be non-stop on an AI PC for 24 hours without worrying, that you need to charge
it. Absolutely.
So that's how we are bringing in the power of one HP and bringing in all the technologies together, such that people are able to really use the technology to their advantage.
Right.
What we're doing is we also realize that in a company, everybody's got a different charter, and it's not a one-size-fits-all approach. You need to ensure that you have the right tools, you have the right applications, right agents.
Absolutely.
For each of the persona type.
Right.
And so it's moving away from just products to experiences. So now we're looking at how do we engineer experiences for different personas such that a day in that person's life, sees a paradigm shift.
Right.
It's all about using AI as a means to augment human capacity.
Right.
So those are the few things we're doing in Asia, which we feel very excited about. And another thing that is, we realize that it's not a one-size-fits-all approach. What we need in Indonesia to be successful is the recipe book is very different from that of Philippines. And when you look at Philippines, it's very different from that from Japan. So while we're a global brand, how do we bring the local soul into whatever we do?
Right.
How do we localize this to meet the needs of our customers in different geographies?
That's very informative. And I think I guess you will not really name a particular market within Asia that is driving maximum of this growth.
Very interestingly, we are a very unique market. On one spectrum, we have very developed economies like Japan, Korea, Australia, Singapore. But on the other spectrum, you have growing economies like Indonesia, Philippines, Thailand, Vietnam. So hard to pick which way you want to go. Worries. But I must say that across the spectrum, we see tremendous potential. And each country today is a little different in their maturity curve, in their AI adoption cycle. But we do think, given where we are from a landscape standpoint, from where the lay of the land is, we see potential all across.
I'll move to HP as an ecosystem builder, especially with HP Garage 2.0. I think that has been pretty much the talk of the town. So I'll just start with asking you, what is exactly HP Garage 2.0 and how does it actually differ from the old HP Garage? And also, very importantly, given we are at the TIE podcast, what do you think about, the partnership that you recently had with, TIE Singapore?
Way back in 1939, two engineers, Bill Hewlett and Dave Packard,
right.
They started off from a garage, which is now a birthplace of Silicon Valley in San Francisco and Bay Area.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That's where the Silicon Valley, revolution started. And these two engineers started with the first product called audio oscillator. And the first customer of this audio oscillator was Walt Disney.
Okay.
And now it's been like
Right.
86
2025.
years.
Yeah,
86 years
absolutely,
we've been into this business. Think of it this way: that garage, brought about a spirit of innovation.
Absolutely.
We are working on an ecosystem which will build companies of the future.
Right.
And not one, but use a framework to build many such companies.
Right.
So that's how it started with this journey, going back to the roots, to where we belong to, and use this framework to go about incubating startups and providing them with the right platform,
Right.
such that they're able to then get to the next level. So that's how Garage 2.0 came about.
Okay.
So it's been now in motion for a year.
Right.
And it's a three-pronged approach there. One is to, of course, incubate startups. One is to look at being the startups who have a solution, who have the technology, which go hand in glove with what we have to offer. Second is we have a reach. We have a huge, penetration that we have in the market. Now, how do we leverage our reach and penetration to see how we co-sell and co-market some of these application and agents with some of the startups? Third is to really look at some kind of our vision is to look at some kind of a AI store where we are able to bring all those applications and agents together such that you give customer a choice to choose which application they want to use for their use.
Right.
It's kind of drawing a parallel, with the phone industry is similar to what's happening with App Store with Apple, or for the matter, Google Play Store for Android devices. So building on something similar, look at an ecosystem where we are able to bring these applications and agents together and ultimately give the freedom of choice to the customer to choose which one is the right application for them. So that's how the Garage 2.0 initiative is envisaged. So while HP has great technology in terms of hardware, in terms of products, we also need to ensure that along with startups who bring the applications and agents, we also have other supporting infrastructure, alliance with the silicon providers like Intel, AMD, Qualcomm, such that they're able to bring the technical know-how of how the AI application can be optimized for the edge. Then it also is all about then having tie-up with forums like TIE, because TIE has a huge network of charter members who can be then mentors to some of the startups, who can then also provide training programs.
Right.
TIE has its own cohort. We have a joint program called Elevate. So this is where we see tremendous synergy about bringing all the stakeholders together. So this is how we're building the AI ecosystem. So we're building a system where you have government body as part of the systems, educational institutions. Of funding companies, venture capitalists, then also look at other people who can bring in, more mentorship and
forums like TIE
and so on and so forth.
Right.
That's how we're building the AI ecosystem of the future.
Right.
And we feel super excited because 1 year into this, we are seeing tremendous response. And a first cohort is already in place now. So they're already operating out of the premise that we have.
Oh, that's great. Great. So is there any particular criteria that you see, when you're selecting your partners, especially in the startup world? Because, would they be at a particular stage when they would come to, use this? Because of course, startup can be from a little nascent idea to, various stages of their growth. So what would be HP's criteria to select those and partner with them?
So the primary criteria, Komal, that we're looking for is the synergy with what we have to offer. And that should make a good value proposition for us and also a good value proposition for them.
Right.
Because when the technology, it's going to be then, hardware and their software.
Absolutely.
Both.
Yeah.
But it's not limited to any particular size. And the reason I'm saying so is recently we just announced a partnership with Rakuten where we're going to bring the Rakuten AI along with our devices for our customers in Japan.
Okay.
Now that's an amazing win-win because Rakuten gets access to the customer base that we have, and of course, for us, the win is they're able to bring Rakuten, which is their large language model, which is designed and tailored for Japanese customers.
Yeah. So I move on to now a little bit on the competitive landscape. With so many new AI native sort of hardware companies that are emerging, how does HP, distinguish itself? or maybe position itself against both, the legacy competitors and the new AI competitors that you might have operating in the same space? And firstly, who do you think is competition at this point in time?
No, I'm sure. I mean, the competition is there from the traditional erstwhile players as well. And of course, competition scenario will evolve over a period of time. But I think at HP, we're very focused and very, very clear of our strategy. Our strategy is around future of work, which I said, which is essentially to ensure that we empower companies and employees with the right tools such that they're able to realize the true potential of the technology. At the same time, they're able to find close engagement with what they do.
So you're obviously leading by example because you spent so many years here. So you do think that, this is more fulfilling a role than just,
Absolutely.
a role that is, getting basically putting bread on the table,
Absolutely.
right?
Just imagine like Komal, even for us, if you're able to unlock few hours in a day, which can then you can use it to, to think about, what you can do to build the business of the future.
Absolutely. Yes.
So much that you can do. And I do think with AI, it does, it's going to be very, very transformative. It's going to really augment our human capacity. The constant challenge that we have around time, which I mentioned, I think it'll ease off to a very large extent.
Right.
I think for us is more about when we talk about future of work strategy, how do we lead from the front and make it happen for our customers? Right. When we talk about AI, how do we make it real?
Right.
Because today, when people talk about AI, people understand how AI is going to be transformative, but how do you make it real for a salesperson? How do you make it real for a product manager? Right. How do you make it real for a CEO or a CIO of a company? And this is when the rubber hits the road. This is where we really want to ensure the seamless and smooth experience
Absolutely.
for our customers.
Yeah.
So we are putting together a framework where we want to ensure that our stakeholders are ready, internally and externally. We want to ensure that their technical literacy and fluency about technology is as solid as anybody else, because they are the evangelist. When they go and talk to the customers, we want to ensure they're able to articulate what this technology is all about and how this technology can help the companies, and external readiness, working with customers, trying to solve their business problem, then give just a solution which is, a broad solution. Looking at specific needs of the customers, and then engineering experiences which will then
be more
really
tailor-made.
answer.
And absolutely.
Correct. Yeah, so those are the ways we are looking at ensuring that we lead and help our customers with the technology solutions that we have.
I think I'll go to, a little more personal in terms of, as I said, your journey with HP so far, and then probably, going forward from there as to what do you think excites you the most now for the next decade in HP?
It's been an amazing journey for me at HP. And I think a lot of times I do get asked, what has kept me going at HP for the last 31 years? I would say two things, and which has stood with me for the longest time. One is lifelong learning. As much as it sounds cliche, but this is so true and so profound. I think at HP, one thing which happens to each and every employee is there's tremendous potential and opportunity to learn. The fact that I worked at different parts of businesses within HP, different locations, I think there's a testament that there's always this learning. And as long as you're learning, it's always exciting. So that's one. Number two, the spirit of innovation. And to me, that is again has been the driving force.
Right.
And third is the people, the culture. Right. I think the organizations are not built, for 86 years, without having a fabric or a culture. Absolutely. And today, the fact that, and it's not me, there are many such employees in the company who've been there for a very, very long time. And that's essentially because of the people and the culture. What excites me now about the future is the fact that we are at this very interesting time in the industry where the world is going to be very different.
Right.
AI will take away a lot of your load from doing your repetitive task and take away the mundane work which you do. But that said, the creativity which is required, the empathy which is required from a leader would still be needed. So I think I feel excited that we are at the stage where we'll have an opportunity to really leverage the power of technology while not, leaving out the human factor,
Right.
So,
Right.
and this is what really excites me about the future.
That's lovely to hear. Especially I think that is actual thought leadership. So that's amazing. If you had to bet on one emerging technology that will reshape HP's business in perhaps the next coming decade, what do you think it could be?
I think clearly at this point of time, we are excited about the future of work strategy that we have at play.
Right.
Because when we surveyed people and customers, we found that only 28% of the employees, they feel connected with the organization objectives. That's nothing.
Oh, yeah.
Now, to bring about that engagement, and we know that engagement is extremely important.
Absolutely.
One of the things which when the people were asked as a sub-click was people feel they don't have the right tools and technology.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're working from home, when you're working from office, the transition is not seamless.
Right.
Now, how do you ensure with the right tools and technology, you make this extremely seamless for the employees? So we feel, if I have to bet my money, I'll say the future of work strategy that HP has, which is at an intersection of two mega trends, hybrid and AI.
Right.
And today, HP is extremely well placed
right.
To really drive this future of work. And this is going to evolve over a period of time. And this is what really, I think I'm really excited about, because this is going to reshape how we work at home and how do we ensure that we have the right work-life balance at the center of it.
Right. So going on from there, what advice you think you would give to the young founders and innovators, especially in Asia, who want to partner with HP or want to build in the AI space and adapt, I guess, to this very changing phase in technology, right? I mean, I think when I meet a lot of youngsters, they often feel whether doing something in computer science, will it bear the same future as what one would have thought of 10 years ago? So as there's a myth or a thing, or probably a doubt in a lot of youngsters' minds that, as you said, AI is going to take away our jobs. What advice would you give to all of these youngsters or any other young founders who are starting up?
So I'll split this answer into two parts.
Sure.
One, to the young people who are joining the workforce now. Walking away from the technology is not a solution. It's all about leveraging the technology, embrace it, and see how best to use this technology to bring the best out in you. Right. So that's as simple as it sounds. I think it's very, very important that we cannot shy away from using technology to realize the full potential. So that's one. Number two, and I'll split this to the startups as well. Number two for the youngsters is there are different technology available. Be curious. Explore the tools and technologies which are available. Because it's not that you have A, B, C, 3 applications or 3 solutions which will then answer and solve all of your problems. One has to be very, very curious. So you have to be a curious learner as well. So as much as you want to leverage technology, be a curious learner. Whether you're a creative guy or whether you are a product manager, it's very, very important to be very, very curious. To the youngsters who are looking at starting their entrepreneurship journey, I would say there's tremendous potential. There's so many things which on the face of it may not be working.
Right.
I mean, try and solve a problem and not, think of a solution in isolation. Think of a solution that you're developing which will fix a problem, fix a challenge which a customer has. And think of it not from a short-term lens, but also where a mid to long-term lens.
Right.
That how is this challenge which a company is facing, is it going to stay over a period of time? And if so, then is my solution going to help address that? So that's one. I think the relevancy of solution or that you're developing tied to the long-term needs of a customer. Second is to also build a very unique value proposition.
Right.
Ensure that you're having something which is at the core of your IP.
Right.
Which is going to stay with you.
Right.
So that's again extremely important. And third is to really leverage. You may not know everything.
Right.
Reach out to people who can help you and guide you.
Right.
And therefore, if there's a forum like Garage 2.0,
Right.
where you can be a part of, explore those options. Garage 2.0 is not just about being a part of that platform.
Right.
It's also about participating in forums like this where you get to meet people outside your domain.
Right.
Who can be your mentors, who can then provide technical expertise in the area that you need. So you try and leverage the help that's available to you rather than reinvent everything yourself.
Right.
So those are three things that I would say, for a startup to look at when you're just embarking on a new journey.
That's great. No, I think that's been a very insightful conversation. Learned a lot from you. Thank you so much for all the insights, and thank you so much for your perspective. I repeatedly heard you, on the work strategy, which is commendable, because I think if we have more and more leaders thinking about more, the sense of belonging that you said, which is the most important feature, I guess, which will really bind, people and buy the loyalty of people. I think that's commendable. Very few organizations think like that. Anything else that, you would like to probably, just a leaf out of your book over the last few years, anything interesting that you've come across, which you would like to just share with us as something where we just then close off?
I'll say two things. One, I think you mentioned about leadership. I think the leadership becomes very, very important in today's world. As much as we want to encourage our people to start using technology, I think as leaders it's very, very important that you're creating safe spaces for our people to try and explore. You don't want to take away the creative element of your
Absolutely.
people.
Right.
So creating that environment is very, very important. So therefore, as a leaders, it's very, very important that you're leading from the front, rolling up your sleeves, using technology yourself. Second is empathy. In the world that we're living in, it's a lot of agents and bots taking
Absolutely,
over, but
yes.
Nothing can replace, that
The human touch.
Human touch. You cannot let it go. So when you looking at the culture of your organization, this has to be an integral part of it. It's going to be a very interesting time for the leadership in any organization like ours. I'm sure it's true for you as well. It's not a one generation. Like you have a multi-generation workforce on our floor.
Absolutely, yeah.
So the playbook that we have it's not a one-size-fits-all.
Right.
For people who are just joining us from the college, versus people who've been in the business for 20 years, the motivation factors are very different. Now, making sure they are able to cater to their motivation factors to really make this future of work a reality, I think is going to be very, very important. The second is about a partnership with TIE. It's a very powerful relationship. What TIE does is it brings to table a very unique strengths, an amazing list of distinguished charter members who bring in very different experiences, who can provide mentorship, to the startups. At the same time, having those masterclass training programs,
right,
which can then be extended to the cohort that we have.
Right.
So to me, the alliance that we have with TIE is extremely powerful and extremely strong. And we feel super excited because while there's a cohort at our end, cohort on TIE's end, with the TIE Elevate program that we have, I think my feeling is we just got started, and the best is yet to come. So the synergies are phenomenal. It's all about us now. How do we make it, very fruitful for the cohorts who are part of it?
No, absolutely. And in fact, you must be aware that we've also started the TIE Young Entrepreneurs program, which is, of course, much younger, kids, but I think exposure, to leaders like yourself, to companies that are, evolving and adopting, newer AI models and strategies. Just learning about that, within this entire TIE ecosystem is going to be extremely beneficial. So thank you so much for the valuable time, Samir, to help us, talk to us, and enlighten us about, what you do, what HP does, and, what you're looking at within this new world, because AI seems to be like the word of, this decade, right? Every day you're hearing something about AI. So it was just really nice to delve a lot deeper into this and, get your thoughts. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Komal, for having me. It's been a wonderful conversation. I know we talked a lot about AI, but more importantly, it was great to talk about different topics as well. So great.
Yes,
Thank you for having me on this with you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.